Hey y'all, welcome to Crank That Whip, and we're gonna move on to
We on that DUI packet now, y'all. DUI packet. Let me tell you about this DUI packet. The driver can help to write it and fill it up with all the juicy details of their night, or they don't have to. It could be a really short, small little DUI packet. But you help to write it with your appearance and your behavior. So go ahead and tell the officer how much you had to drink and where you just not coming from. All those details. Oh yeah, just go ahead on and tell him everything, baby, because it's going to be in the packet. It's going to be in that DUI packet. And when I worked at bar, I used to love those packets. They were filled with all the juicy details of somebody's night. Something I could sink into and be nosy. Because you know, some people nosy. I am. Like that one time when I read about this couple in a park. They done got caught in the climax position on the driver's seat. They fell asleep with the keys in the ignition. Or a couple who decides to go to Chick-fil-A on a Sunday in separate cars and fall asleep in the drive-thru. It's like, come on now, y'all. Come on now. But you help to fill up that DUI packet. And you can help or you don't have to help. The experienced law enforcement officer is not going to need your help anyways, baby, because that packet going to be long if they want it to be long, filled with all the details. They're going to be very attentive to your actions and your behaviors to help write that report if you are not cooperating with them. I've seen some very small packets and I've seen some very long detailed packets. You can either close your mouth or you can sing like a canary. The more you talk and act the fool, the more information you're going to put in your DUI packet and show evidence of your drunkenness. A calm driver that keeps their mouth closed will have a very small packet. It won't be filled with how many times they cursed at the officer, how many times they repeated themselves, or how many times they almost fell over and this and that. When you have a well-written packet, the attorney will be less likely to have arguments and motions. However, when you have a DUI packet that speaks of speeding and no radar gun or have other holes in the case, that's when the officer is going to have an issue. They're going to have to be present at the hearing to defend their packet. And if the attorney is smart, they won't request that officer comes to the hearing. And because they see the errors in the packet and they know it could be a way to win the case. Why would you subpoena the officer to come to the hearing if it's a hole in the case? Go ahead on and make your motion on your argument on that hole and get the case tossed. The law enforcement officer is supposed to turn in the DUI packet to the bar office within 5 days. The law enforcement agency usually submits the packet in batches, either by mail or fax or email. Those are the ways you can submit the packet. They have up until the time of a formal review to have the packet turned into the Bureau of Administrative Reviews. If the packet is not turned in, the case gets tossed. Simple as that. There is 4 ways the packet can be submitted, and still law enforcement agencies fail to turn the packet in within 5 days. It's a darn shame if you ask me. Throughout the day, working at the bar office, we had the mail come in, stacks of packets. We had cops dropping off stacks of packets. Nowadays, email is the best way, and that's the preferred way by the Bureau of Administrative Reviews. Don't have to worry about, you know, packets getting misplaced and all because it's saved on a computer. Saved on the computer, and when somebody requests the packet, you can easily send it right there off the computer. You don't have to get up and go and get it out the cabinet and take a staple out and send it and make sure it don't get stuck in the printer. And it was a hassle with sending packets that weren't saved electronically. Let me just say that. And you can get your packet by requesting it from the law enforcement agency or from the Bureau of Administrative Reviews in your area. It's 50 cents per page, and you can get that packet once it's available to you at the Bureau of Administrative Reviews or the law enforcement agency, because they do have to prepare it. And then they send it to Bureau of Administrative Reviews. So if we don't have it, or if BAR did not have it, they could not give you copies of the packet that they weren't in possession of. So you had to wait till the packet was turned into the BAR office, and then you could request those packets for 50 cents per page. Some agencies don't send a DUI packet in at all. For the first few years I worked at BAR, we were missing packets from the sheriff's office. I'm just say it. You know, we were missing packets from the sheriff's office. Turns out they were only submitting the packets to the state attorney's office, which also may need the packets. But the Florida statute says surrender the packets to the Bureau of Administrative Reviews. So either they weren't in tune with that statute, or they just were, you know, not doing their job. But anyways, we were tossing cases left and right for the sheriff's office. And it was almost, you know, a given. If you had a sheriff's office case, go ahead and request a formal review, because guess what? The packet is not going to get turned in. So the case gets tossed. It was like clockwork. Some agencies, they just don't turn the packets in. And that's a good thing if you request a formal review, because if the formal is requested, the statute allows the law enforcement agency 30 days if the form is requested to have the packet turned in. And if the packet is not turned in within 30 days, that case needs to be tossed.
Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, follow, and watch.